Alright guys, it's your lucky day. You're gonna get to hear me say more than about 3 words. Lucas is busy, so 4 days before season right now, and I'm over at one of our pieces of public close to our house, and gonna go check some of these non-cell cameras we have on a few scrapes and see if there's anything on them. There's actually deer right there in front of me as I'm walking in. I spooked them. Seem to do that a lot. When this video airs, it'll be a day before season. I'll get to this first camera and I'll pull the card and we'll pop up what we got on it. Finally made it to camera 1. Looks like there's a couple hundred videos on here, so hopefully we got something good. We'll pop it up and show you guys. And it's starting to get dark already, but I might be able to make it to one more camera real quick and show you guys some more. If not, we'll get to the rest of the cameras tomorrow.
All right, guys, we are back. It is Wednesday, September 21st. Jase and I are back down here in hill country. Made our first stop of the day at the saddle scrape because of a whopping 10 seconds of walking in the woods. And right on the path, not even 30 yards off the single car parking lot, was a scrape that was just freshened up, branches broken, big tracks all through the mud there. We're gonna sneak down in here. We were just kind of glassing this flat, making sure nothing was feeding on it. We're gonna get down in here, pull the card, and get the heck out of here. All right, guys, we just made it to the scrape here. There is acorns everywhere on this saddle right now. Looks like we're missing a few branches here. Still pretty wide open. There's chewed up white acorn caps in the scrape. That's what you like to see when you come across a scrape in September. All right, just swapped cards. We had 78 pictures and videos on that since we have it on hybrid mode. So not bad for about a month. I mean, we knew that this spot really wouldn't get super hot till later on in the fall. Just thumbing through, seems like we had same 2 bucks on camera that we did back in August. So that's a good sign. Other than that, I didn't really get to look through that too much. The scrape is open, alive and well. Jase looking at a rub right there. Pretty fresh one. So I am hopeful for this spot. Didn't seem like there was anything in daylight yet, but we were very close to the white oaks starting to drop in mass. I'm sure the deer will be in here at some point. On to the beaver pond. Jase, what are the odds that the beaver pond camera got stolen?
50-50. It's either there or it's not.
I'm thinking it's not stolen, but it might have got messed with again. Who knows? I moved it up another stick higher, so we'll see if they went through the trouble of getting up even higher to mess with our stuff. All right, so we're at the beaver pond, and she's still there. Doesn't look like anyone messed with it, so let's go up and find out. All right, just swapped out cards here. Not as much on this camera this time. They're definitely shifting. In a month span, we only had, again, 78 pictures and videos because we have this on hybrid mode now too. Just thumbing through it. I think it's the usual suspects in here. I did see, kind of looked like a tall and skinny 8-point, I want to say. And it kind of looked like KD was back. It's either KD or the big 8. Whatever it was wide, so we'll see once we get back to the office. On to the bean field next. Gonna be doing some shuffling over there too. We're gonna move that render because we haven't got diddly squat on that thing for, quite a few weeks. A couple does moving here in the evening, but other than that, not much. So gonna go over, check the card on the bean field axis, move the render. We're gonna go try and find a scrape to put it on. It looks like they're starting to fire up already and open up some scrapes, so we will see you guys over there. So Jase and I are dividing and conquering. About to go swap cards on this lift 2 that we have on the bean field access, and I'm gonna go pull this render that we have further down. Hasn't been much on it, just haven't seen much there. So Jase's gonna go across this bean field. There's a ravine and then another ridge that shoots down and parallels this ridge here. It kind of tapers down, flattens out to a couple fallow fields, tapers down again, flattens out to another fallow field, and then it hits private and just drops. So I'm guessing with that being, you know, 1,000+ yards away from the parking lot, it's probably not going to get as much pressure. I'm going to duck down in here, grab this camera, go grab that render, and we'll see what we can find. Just pulled that card, and I was expecting a little bit of a fall off on that, just because some of these beans are turning yellow already. But whew, 1 month we had over 200 pictures and videos on hybrid mode, and just thumbing through them, every single buck that we had in August is still back. Ivan, the high and tight with the split brow, was on there. Droopy, the big wide one with the droop down G3, was on there. Got a couple new ones on there. There's a Big 10 on there. There's actually, I can't tell you how many points, but he's a pretty nice deer. He looks like a mainframe 10 or 12, but he's got 2 different splits and a couple kickers. Just a super solid deer. Not very high, but man, is he wide, and man, does he have points. We're gonna go move this render. If Jase can't find anything, there was a scrape literally at the entrance of that access that I just came out of. So, all right, I'm at the render, and man, did we get lucky. Kind of hard to tell, but solar panel slipped out and somehow didn't come unplugged. Jase did find a scrape over on that other ridge, and as I was walking up here, just around the side of the trees where this camera can't see, there's a scrape on the side of the field too. So that's 4 scrapes we found in this little area, so we shall see. I'm gonna take this down, go meet Jase, and we'll make a game plan. All right, guys, we're getting ready to go over the footage here. As you can see, I am not in the studio today. Cameron and I are actually on our way back from filming an episode of Whitetail Cribs with the one and only Jase and Michael. It is currently Friday, September 23rd, day before the opener. So better late than never. Already went over what we got down at the Hill Country set. We'll get into the cards here from the lake sets. The Powerline camera, we just had that 8-point on camera, same 8-point we've had the entire year there. The only buck that's not a spike on that camera. We're still gonna keep that camera there. I still have high hopes for it. There's some beans across the road from that chunk that are still relatively green. Once the beans turn, or once the acorns actually start dropping in that chunk, we'll get some more bucks on camera there, but as for now, not much. However, the other lake set, that travel corridor we have in between the private land beans and the little fallow field on public, we had a lot of bucks there. So we had the usual crew, those 3 different 10 points that we had in the area there, they were still using that travel corridor in there. We actually had 2 new bucks show up too. So there's a smaller 8-point and a bigger 8-point. Smaller 8-point still would definitely shoot in a heartbeat. You know, he's, I don't know, probably out to his ears. The other 8-point, however, is way out past his ears. He is super wide. We only had him on camera for sure once. Actually, no, for sure twice. After looking through all of those, we kind of determined that so after looking through all of those on that second lake set there, we kind of determined that they're definitely on cooler nights staying in that bean field, it seems like all evening long, all throughout the night, then coming back off of those beans down through that transition area, either across the little fallow field or out around the little fallow field following a creek, and then going back into the bedding area, because we noticed half of those bucks that we would get on the lift 2 before the fallow field, about 20 minutes later we'd get them on the render after the fallow field. So they're definitely transitioning from food back to bed there. Still not exactly 100% sure what I'm gonna do for opening morning. I might go down to the Hill Country set. I might stick around and hunt one of the lake sets. I don't know. I'm gonna make that call a little later on tonight. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this video.
Comment down below, should Lucas hunt the lake set or the Hill Country set? My vote, Lucas should be in a tree in the lake set. What do you guys think?